know what? Life's a mess. Everywhere you turn, there's chaos. People running around like they have no clue what's going on. It's like a circus without the clowns. No, wait. The clowns are everywhere. They just don't know they're clowns. But today, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna get your life in order, and we're doing it right now. No waiting around, no excuses. So let's dive into it. Stop complaining, start acting. You're tired, right? Everyone's tired of work, tired of people, tired of being tired. You know what? Boo-hoo, shut it down. Complaining gets you nowhere. Action, folks. That's the key. Take one step forward. Doesn't have to be a leap, just a step. Do something, anything, because complaining's for losers. Don't trust your feelings, they're liars. Feelings, they're a joke. 1 minute, you feel like you're on top of the world, and the next, you're crying in your car like a lunatic. Your emotions will lie to you, so stop trusting them. Make decisions based on logic, not that emotional roller coaster in your head. That's how you start getting things in order. Cut out the drama. Life's not a soap opera. If you're dealing with drama, you're wasting your time. Drama's like a bad TV show that never gets canceled. Get rid of the toxic people in your life. If they're dragging you down, cut them off. You don't need that kind of baggage. Life's hard enough without being stuck in someone else's mess. Set some freaking goals. If you don't know where you're going, how the hell are you supposed to get there? Set some goals. And don't give me this nonsense about finding your purpose. Your purpose is to get your act together and stop wandering around like a lost dog. Write down what you want to achieve and then work for it. Simple, right? But you'd be surprised how many people don't do this. Stop waiting for motivation. It's not coming. Motivation, it's like a mirage. It looks close, but it's always out of reach. Stop waiting for that magical burst of energy to hit you. You know when you're going to get motivated? When you start doing the damn thing. Get off your couch and move. The rest will follow. Simplify, simplify, simplify. You don't need 50 things in your life to be happy. Hell, most people can't even handle the 10 things they have. So start cutting down. Simplify your space, your schedule, your relationships. Less is more, people. Life's complicated enough without adding a bunch of clutter. Stop making excuses. You're not special. Oh, but my situation is different. No, it's not. Everybody's got their story. Everybody's got their crap to deal with. You're not unique in that sense. Quit making excuses for why you can't do something. Nobody cares. Get up, do the work, and stop acting like the world owes you something. Take responsibility. You're in control. If you're sitting around blaming everyone else for your problems, guess what? You're part of the problem. Own up to your mistakes, your decisions, and your life. Stop playing the victim. You're in charge of this mess, and it's time to clean it up. Learn to say no. It's not that hard. You don't have to be everyone's doormat. You don't have to agree with everything people say or do. Just say no. It's liberating. And here's the kicker. People will respect you more when you stop saying yes to everything they want. You can't please everyone, and frankly, you shouldn't try. Stop procrastinating. It's not your friend. Procrastination is the art of keeping up with yesterday. It's the art of doing nothing while pretending you're working. Stop it right now. Take action today. If you don't, you'll be the same mess you are now a year from now. Is that what you want? No? Then get moving. Stop complaining. That's the first thing you need to hear. I'm not talking about occasional venting or expressing frustration. No, I'm talking about those people who find something to complain about every single day, no matter what. You know them, don't you? The ones who could win the lottery and still complain about how the check is written. It's exhausting, and the reality is, complaining gets you nowhere. It's an energy drain, a time waster, and a dream killer. It does nothing for you, and it does nothing for anyone around you. Think about this. When you complain, what exactly are you achieving? Does your complaining change the situation? Does it make the problem disappear? Does it inspire you to do something to fix the problem? No, it does none of that. All you're doing is creating more negativity and digging yourself deeper into a hole. You're convincing yourself that there's nothing you can do about your situation, and in doing so, you end up stuck. Here's the harsh reality. Life's tough. There are plenty of reasons to complain. The economy's in the toilet, your boss is a jerk, people disappoint you, friends betray you, maybe your car breaks down, or you spill coffee on your shirt when you're already late for work. Life throws curveballs, and there's no getting around that. But here's the deal. Complaining about it doesn't change a damn thing. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, why not focus on what you can do to make it right? You have the power to change your situation, even if it's just a little bit. Sure, you might not be able to control everything. There's always going to be something outside of your control, whether it's other people's actions or circumstances that are just out of your hands. But you know what you can control? yourself, your attitude, your actions. Let's take an example. You're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. You could complain about how horrible the traffic is, how unfair it is that you're running late, how much your day is ruined, or you could do something more productive. What about taking that time to listen to an audiobook or a podcast? Maybe it's an opportunity to think through a problem you've been dealing with or mentally prepare for the meeting ahead. The situation may suck, but how you deal with it is entirely in your hands. Complaining about it, that's just wasting valuable time and energy that could be spent on solutions or self-improvement. And don't think that complaining is just a small habit. It spreads. When you constantly complain, you start dragging other people down with you. It's like a disease. You've seen it happen. One person complains and suddenly everyone around them starts complaining too. Pretty soon the whole office is in a bad mood, the whole family is arguing, and no one's doing anything productive. Negativity is contagious. When you choose to complain instead of take action, you're not just sabotaging yourself, you're bringing others down with you. Here's something else to think about. Every time you complain, you're reinforcing the idea that you are powerless to change your circumstance. You're telling yourself that things are happening to you, not for you, and that mindset is toxic. It's disempowering. You start to see yourself as a victim, as someone who has no control over their life. But that's a lie. You have the power to change. The world doesn't owe you anything, and complaining about how unfair things are is just an excuse to avoid doing the hard work of actually changing your situation. So let's talk about action. How do you take action instead of complaining? First, you need to stop waiting for the perfect moment. People love to complain about the timing of things. I'm waiting for the right time to start. I don't have the energy to work on that right now. Maybe next week I'll get to it. News flash, the perfect time never comes. You know when the right time is? Right now. The only time that truly exists is the present, and you can do something about it today. When you choose to take action, you shift your focus. You stop being a passive observer of your life and start taking the reins. Instead of pointing at the problem and complaining about it, you start looking for solutions. You don't have to solve everything at once. The key is to do something. Anything, even a small step in the right direction is better than standing still. Let's say you're dealing with a problem at work. Maybe you're overwhelmed with tasks. Maybe your manager isn't giving you the support you need. You could sit around and complain about how terrible your job is, how you're stuck in a dead-end position, and how everything is unfair. Or you could take action. Maybe that means speaking up and asking for help. Maybe it means organizing your tasks so they're more manageable. Maybe it's time to have a conversation with your manager about how you can work more effectively together. Sure, it's uncomfortable, but it's action. And that's how you get things done. Now you might be thinking, but I don't know where to start. I don't know what action to take. That's okay. You don't need all the answers right now, but you do need to take a step. Start by identifying the things in your life that are causing you stress, frustration, or unhappiness. What are they? What's the root cause of your complaints? Once you've identified that, it's easier to figure out what action to take. It doesn't matter if you don't have the perfect plan in place. The goal is to do something. It's about momentum. You get one thing done, and that leads to another. The more you take action, the easier it becomes. You don't have to change everything all at once. Start small, one action today, one action tomorrow, and before you know it, you've made significant progress. But if you sit there complaining about your problems, you're not moving forward. You're just going around in circles, stuck in a loop of frustration. Don't waste time. Stop complaining. Start doing. And here's the kicker. Once you start taking action, you'll realize something pretty incredible. You'll start feeling better about your situation. You might not have solved all your problems, but you'll be solving some of them. You'll feel more in control. You'll have a sense of accomplishment. Complaining never gives you that, but taking action, that gives you power. So here's your challenge. Right now, take one thing you've been complaining about and do something about it. Not tomorrow, not next week. Do it today. Even if it's just a small action, it's a step in the right direction. And as you do it, notice how much better you feel. Notice how much more empowered you feel. And the next time you're tempted to complain, remember that you've already taken action and that complaining isn't going to get you anywhere. Start now and watch how quickly things change. Drama and toxicity are two of the most corrosive forces in life. They poison relationships, drain energy, and keep you trapped in cycles of negativity. Drama, in its simplest form, is unnecessary conflict or tension that arises from miscommunication, misunderstandings, or simply people's inability to let go of small things. Toxicity is even worse. It's the deliberate or unintentional harm people cause through their words, behaviors, or energy. These two elements have a way of invading our lives, often when we least expect it. They can be the very things that prevent us from moving forward, from finding peace, from achieving our goals. The problem is, many of us are addicted to drama and toxicity. We think it's normal, even entertaining. We get caught up in other people's issues or create our own problems to deal with because for some reason, dealing with conflict feels like we're accomplishing something. But the truth is, we're just wasting our time and energy. We're letting ourselves be distracted by things that have no real value and that serve no real purpose. At the end of the day, we're left feeling emotionally drained, mentally exhausted, and spiritually empty. And it's all because we've allowed drama and toxicity into our lives. It's not easy to cut out drama. The people around us, whether they're family, friends, or coworkers, can be addicted to it. They thrive on conflict, on gossip, on stirring the pot, or on creating tension. It might seem like you're going to miss out if you don't participate, but the truth is you're not. Drama is a time suck. It pulls you away from what really matters. It distracts you from the goals you should be focused on and the relationships that actually contribute to your growth. When you start cutting out drama, the first thing you need to do is recognize when it's happening. Some people thrive on drama and don't even realize they're creating it. It's almost like a subconscious behavior. They'll tell you stories about their lives, and within those stories, they'll talk about how someone wronged them or how something went wrong or how someone else made their lives miserable. And the more they talk, the more they draw you in and the more you're exposed to negative energy. It's infectious. But here's the kicker. You don't have to engage. You don't have to feed the fire. The moment you recognize it's drama, you can choose to step away. Don't get sucked into the drama vortex. No matter how much you might want to or how much it feels like you're obligated to listen or respond, don't. The moment you engage in this kind of back and forth, you're allowing the toxic energy to enter your life. And even if it seems innocent or even funny at first, in the long run, it only brings you down. Drama doesn't make you stronger, it doesn't make you smarter, and it sure as hell doesn't make you a better person. It just keeps you tied to negative energy that you don't need. And let's be honest, we've all been caught in the trap. It's easy to get wrapped up in a juicy piece of gossip or drama-filled conversation. Sometimes it feels like everyone else is doing it, so why not join in? But this is where you need to take a step back and reassess. If the conversation doesn't move you toward a better place, whether emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, then why engage in it? It's draining and it won't get you anywhere. It's not just about avoiding conversations either. It's about examining your own behavior and habits. Do you find yourself creating drama in your own life? Maybe you make a big deal out of things that don't need to be made into big deals. Maybe you have a tendency to exaggerate situations, turning small misunderstandings into full-blown conflicts. This is something you have to look at in yourself. Drama is not just something other people create. We're all capable of it, and it's something we need to own. If you're constantly making mountains out of molehills, then you're contributing to the problem. Cutting out drama means learning to detach from the small things that seem like they matter, but ultimately don't. It means stopping yourself from responding to every minor irritation, and it means finding peace in silence instead of filling it with unnecessary chatter. You don't need to react to every little comment, every little conflict, or every little issue that comes your way. Not everything requires your emotional investment. But here's the real kicker. Cutting out drama also means cutting out toxic people. It's one thing to avoid drama, but it's another to actively distance yourself from people who constantly bring it into your life. Toxic people are the ones who drag you down, who make you feel like you're not good enough, who gossip behind your back, and who create an environment where you feel uncomfortable, unsafe, or disrespected. They might be people you've known for years, or they might be people you've just met. Either way, you need to make a choice. The hardest part of cutting out toxicity is recognizing when someone is toxic. You might have been friends with them for years, or you might have family members who have always been a part of your life, but you've got to ask yourself, does this person add value to your life? Do they make you feel good about yourself? Do they encourage your growth, your happiness, and your peace? Or do they make you feel drained, anxious, or constantly on edge? Toxic people don't just affect your mood, they affect your entire outlook on life. They shift your focus away from what really matters, your own mental health, your growth, and your goals. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself in their toxic cycles, constantly reacting to their negativity. You'll spend more time trying to fix their problems than you do fixing your own. If someone is draining your energy, manipulating you, or consistently making you feel bad about yourself, it's time to cut them out. It doesn't matter if they're family, friends, or coworkers. Your peace is more important, your mental health is more important, your growth is more important. And if someone doesn't respect that, then it's time to walk away. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I can't just cut people out of my life. Sure, it's difficult. Sometimes it feels impossible, especially if they're close to you. But here's the thing, You're not obligated to keep toxic people in your life just because they're family or because you've known them for a long time. Relationships should be mutually respectful and nurturing. They should help you grow, not drag you down. If someone is consistently bringing negativity into your life, then their presence is no longer serving you. Let's talk about how to actually cut people out. First, you have to get comfortable with the idea of setting boundaries. Boundaries are the foundation of healthy relationships. When you set a boundary with someone, you're telling them what you will and won't tolerate. And believe me, it's not always easy, but it's necessary. Toxic people don't respect boundaries. They'll try to push past them, test them, or ignore them altogether. That's when you need to stand firm. Don't let them back in just because they've guilt-tripped you or manipulated you into feeling sorry for them. Your boundaries are non-negotiable. Setting boundaries is not about being rude or mean. It's about protecting yourself. It's about saying, I don't deserve to be treated like this, and I'm not going to let you treat me this way anymore. And if they don't like it, too bad. Your peace, your energy, and your mental well-being come first. Another key part of cutting out toxicity is self-awareness. If you're constantly surrounded by toxic people or drama-filled situations, it's time to ask yourself why. Are you allowing this behavior because you've become used to it? Are you attracted to the chaos? Do you have a tendency to engage with people who bring drama into your life because it's familiar? Be honest with yourself. Understanding your own patterns is the first step to breaking them. Once you've recognized the drama and toxicity in your life, it's time to take action. This is your life, and you get to decide what energy you allow into it. So stop waiting around for things to get better on their own. Stop hoping that the drama will somehow disappear. Take control, set boundaries, distance yourself from toxic people, and start surrounding yourself with positivity. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but trust me, it's worth it. The peace, the focus, and the energy you'll gain will be more than worth the effort.